I'm the representative of the Chou Gar Praying Mantis Kung Fu of United Kingdom. I was appointed this position by my Grand Master Yip Soi and my master, or Sifu, Ip Chi Gung, in 1987. I'd like to tell you about the Chou Gar Praying Mantis. It dates back roughly about 250 years to the southern Shaolin Temple. The founder's name, his name was Zhao An'an. Zhao An'an taught another monk whose name was Wang Fugou, and Wang Fugou went to a place called Weiyang in southern China and taught a young man there. His name was Lao Soi. When Lao Soi was about 40 years old, he moved to Hong Kong around about 1913. When he moved to Hong Kong, he started teaching people of the Hong Kong race, and this included Cantonese people, because Chou Gar Praying Mantis was a very secret style at that time, and it was only taught to the Hakka group of Chinese people, and they often segregate themselves amongst other Chinese people, including the Cantonese people. But when Chou Gar Praying Mantis came to Hong Kong, it was taught to Hakka people as well as Cantonese people alike. One of those Cantonese people was Grand Master Yip Soi, who in 1940 was appointed as the Grand Master of the Chou Gar Praying Mantis by Lao Soi shortly before his death. Grand Master Yip Soi taught his son. His name was Ip Chi Gung, and his son is my master. His name is Ip Chi Gung. He is my Sifu. He came to London in 1974, and he taught numerous people, and one of those numerous people that he taught was myself. A few years later, about in 1980, 1979, 1980, I went to Hong Kong, and I was lucky enough to stay at my Grand Master's home, where I was taught much more about the Chou Gar Praying Mantis. And in 1987, I was appointed UK representative of the Chou Gar Praying Mantis system. So here's a brief history. Obviously, is a lot more deeper than that. I'd like to introduce you to this tape. I'm going to introduce you to the second form, which is called SARM JIN YUI KUI. SARM means free, Jin as in punch or arrow striking or arrow piercing, and YUI KUI is called to it means to shake off. In other words, if someone grabs your arm or tries to grab you, you shake him off by using this particular movement. I will also be talking about the dimma or dimyut points. These are pressure points, and they are in the second form teaches you about pressure points on the arm as well as other places, and I'm going to go into them into an in-depth detail. Secondly, I'm going to show you the natural weapons of the body. Obviously, you may know many of the natural weapons, but on the hand in the Chou Gar Praying Mantis, we have at least 15 different weapons on the hand alone. So I'm going to sort of show you these weapons. Okay, so before I'm going to show you the second form, SARM JIN YUI KUI, I'm going to show you the natural weapons of the body. Every part of the body is used as a weapon in this system, and this includes our teeth. I'd like to start off with the foot. First, the heel is used for striking the heel. The corner of the heel, this part here, is used. The ball of the foot is used. The instep is also used to kick. We also use the shin here. We use the knee, obviously. The knee is used for an attack. The back of the knee is also used. The hip is used for striking or pushing someone into a position enabling you to hit him with something else. The shoulder is used as a barging. The elbow, the outside of the forearm, the inside of the forearm, as well as the inside of the elbow. The back is used so that we can push out the back. The head, the forehead, and the back of the head is also used, as well as the teeth. Now, I'm going to do a close-up of the different positions of the hands because there are many different weapons that we use from the hands themselves. On the hand, there are many different weapons. For instance, we use the edge of the palm here for downward striking. We use the corner bit of the palm, the bony bit, ideal for pressure point striking. The complete palm itself for forward palming. Tips of the fingers, thrusting, as well as clawing. The Phoenix Eye Fist using the second knuckle of the index finger. The Dragon Fist using the second knuckle of the longest finger. The double Phoenix Fist using both of the second knuckles of the index finger and of the longest finger. The Gonga Choi Fist, Ginger Fist. This is ideal for training the tendon at the wrist as well as doing striking with the Yukio. The Claw, Tong Long Jiao, Southern Praying Mantis Claw, ideal for pressure point striking or gripping. Eagle Claw, Tiger Claw. The basic fist using the first two knuckles, and also you can use the last knuckle as well as the meaty bit on the palm when doing the Gao Choi. The ridge hand using inside the hand. The backhand known as tuck jung is also used. The wrist, as in the fashion as you see in the picture, pixel. The outside of the wrist. And these are some of the hands we used. Okay, so you've seen some of the weapons that we use in the Chou Gар Praying Mantis system, okay? And over the course of all the videos that I have on the market, you will see how these weapons are actually used in combat. So what I'm going to do now is going to show you the second form, SARM JIN YUI KUI, which means freeze arrow punches and turn and shake off the bridge. So before starting a form, always pay the respect sequence to humble yourself in front of your elders. front and the side view. I'm going to break that down and teach you and explain the second form slowly to you. And then I'm going to show you, I'm going to explain the application along with attacking the pressure points or the dim or dim mar points that we use from the second form. So let's start. So first, you put your feet together, place two fingers like this on your chest, and take the right leg forward in right stance. Tense up your arms, breathe deep to your stomach and dent in. And from here, thrust down. Grip your arms, legs, stomach, breathe it in, then one, elbow strike up, back and forward. Breathe out. Breathe in, tense up your arms, thrust down. Breathe in, elbows in, push the palms out with the palms facing up, and known as the tan position. Biusao or thrusting fingers, then each finger you pull in. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you take a step forward, single punch on the right side, thrust, and then pull in. Bringing your elbow in first. Step forward again, punch on the left side, thrust, pull in each finger, bringing the elbow in first. Step forward again, punch on the right side, thrust, bringing each finger with the elbow coming in first. Close up to this position, in the Chou position. Turn to the side, double claw, knee raise, left leg, right leg. Circle the arms over, push up, grab, and hit your stomach. From there, take a half step, left leg forward, double punch, and dose out. I do that again, this time from the side. Again, feet together, feet like this on your chest. Open out your hands, grip your legs, waist, stomach and arms. At this point, thrust down. Lift up both your arms. At this point, elbow strike up, back, and forward. Open up your hands again, going downwards. Thrust both into the chapsal position or thrusting hand. Lift up into the tangible position. Then from here, thrust. Pull the elbows in with each finger. Start with the index finger, the longest finger, and the last two. To this position, you step forward, thrust, punch, thrust, and then pull in. Bring in each finger and the elbow coming first. Step forward, punch on the left side, thrust. Again, starting with the index finger, bringing your elbow in. Again, step forward, punch, thrust, bring your elbow in, start and bring your fingers in, start with the index finger. Turn to the side, double claw, knee raise, left leg, right leg, circle up, push palm up, grab, pull in. Half step, left leg forward, double punch, those up. Okay. So from this position, I'm going to turn around. The left leg comes across, you turn, and then the stance is long into the UQ position. Okay, I'll do it from a different angle so you can see from the camera point of view. You turn around, bring the elbows in, and push up. This hand is level with the shoulder. This one is underneath for protection. Bring this hand back to the chest, coming to downside. Overhead, yin come or eagle claw. Pull punch. Step forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. Move forward again. 1, 2, 3, 4. From here, open out the right hand and thumbs up. Half step, left leg forward and palm. From here, toes up. And then you turn around. Okay, I'll show you this from a different angle once more. From here, left leg across, turn, you kill. Toes up, yin come, pull and punch. Shake bridge, center block, eagle claw, pull and punch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thumbs up, half step, left leg forward, palm, elbows up, and turn around. Those last 10 movements are double punch, elbows up, step forward and palm, step back, mosta, step forward, peck, step back at the same time, drag both your hands down, step forward, deals out, step back, peck, jump, step forward, palm strike, and then from here, bow and arrow punch. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Finish. Again, double punch, elbows up. So you step forward, palm, step back. This is level. Step forward, picks up, step back, socks up. Step forward, deals out, step back, head, step forward, right hand strike from here, man down, and then finish. So here's the second form. Okay, what I'd like to do is now I'm going to show you the correct position for each movement. I like to emphasize on keeping the elbow in. In actual fact, it's very important in the sub-premana system that we teach. We have to learn to keep our elbow in and generate power from our forearm. So in the Yukio, it's got a 45-degree angle. If I'm facing the camera, this elbow should be approximately above the toes, like this. Not here or here, above the toes. So when you're doing Yukio, it's here, toes up, again above the toes, yen come above the toes, pull and punch, again above the toes. Keep your elbow well away from your stomach. When you're doing Yukio, you can also slap your forearm with your left hand, because I will explain the reason behind this in the application striking techniques of the second form. So we come here, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you'll notice that every time I do the eagle claw or the Yukio, I don't let my elbow touch my stomach. Both sides, that is. 1, 2, 3, 4. The eagle claw should be slightly tilted, not here. I will again explain this later. Keeping the elbow away from the stomach and at the same time above the toes. On the last 10 movements, again, pay attention by keeping the elbows in. So for instance, step forward, double punch, step back, elbows up. Keep the elbow in and away from the stomach. This hand, your pulling hand, is lower. Again, keep the elbow away from the stomach. Step forward and palm. Step back. This one technique is purely horizontal. Step forward, pecs out, using the wrist. Turn your hands over and step back and pull down. Again, keeping the elbows away from the stomach. Step forward, deals out, using this part of the hand. Step back, again keeping the elbows in. Forward, using your knife edge strike. And then finally, man down. and the second form is there, and I'm going to explain all those techniques in the application.
Okay, now let's see the application of the second form using dim ma or dim yut pressure points. Under no circumstances should you attempt pressure points, and you should consult a doctor or have a qualified instructor with you.
Okay, now I'm going to explain the application of the second form using dim yut or dim ma points of the body. Dim yut or dim ma points have an effect over the nerves, the blood and the chi energy. So I'm going to show the application firstly of the first initial 8 movements from the second form SARM JIN YUI KUI. The first technique comes out like this. We build up tension in our arms, taking it out, pressing down, and then from here with our ribs we thrust down. This technique is going into the bladder, because when we strike inwards we catch the nerve that runs up in the leg here, going into the, because it's more effective if we go down at this point. Or we can use, if we maintain with this hand up, pressure point on the back here, we can chuck it down. Again, either breaking the arm by lifting this one up simultaneously. The first technique, you tense and then thrust down. It doesn't have to be the fingers. You can substitute that for the phoenix eye fist, or the basic fist, or the dragon fist. The next technique comes up, and again, 1, 2, 3. This is also an exercise to develop your dip wat dong, as well as the tongue hung, which means to close in, put in your chest and push out your back, which is important to the madness system. When we come in here, we can use this technique for an elbow strike, maybe to the neck, or we can use it here to the ribs. We can use the other technique coming back, the panjang, to the ribs again. Or this technique can be used as an elbow smash coming forward. Or you can if you grab an arm. If someone grabs your arm from the behind, you can use this same technique to break his grip. Doesn't have to hold tight, don't matter how hard he holds, we're going to block the weakest part of his hand.
Now let's see a close-up. As you can see how the forward elbow strike is used. And now fast.
Okay, so we've seen how this forward elbow can release the grip from your opponent. Also, it can be hit a strike to the pressure point here, and as well as the floating rib, as well as taking this pressure point out here, which is on the tricep. Again with an elbow, grabbing the 2 wrist points here and then smashing onto the elbow, the pressure point above the elbow.
By using this same elbow strike, we can grab the 2 wrist pressure points. We can smash into the pressure point above the elbow, in the tricep, as well as on the shoulder.
Okay, so grabbing the 2 wrist points or turning his arm over, smashing here or into here, or this one here which is at the scapula is a pressure point here. The direction of this one is also going up slightly or straight in. Again, this will take out the shoulder. The elbow comes completely round like this. It's done double, meaning it can be done on both sides. But most of all, those 3 initial elbows is to develop your dip wat dong, your rib training, and your tongue hung. After here, we come out again, tense your arms, come down, again tucks out into the bladder. We then come up to proceed upwards into the position which is known as tankill. If he grabs, you can turn his arm over. From there, you can do many things such as twist his arm. But tankill is a defensive movement, or it can be used as an attacking movement. If he punches in, we can move in and strike, maybe towards the carotid artery, which is here on both sides of the neck. A deflection movement. That's why elbow comes in, and using this side to deflect, while the fingers go forward and slightly at this angle. From here, we do biusao and strike either to the pressure point here or the pressure points just below the collarbone. We can use it as a thrusting fingers. These two pressure points are very important here, and I will explain those pressure points later on as we go along in the video to hit here. Then we come here, which is these techniques here. This exercise, bringing your elbows in first, and each finger, starting with the index finger, longest, and then the last two. These can have numerous applications. Mainly it's to develop the energy in your forearms to make them tough. But we can maybe use this same technique to pull down and then strike, because it's that movement. So here's the first initial 8 movements.
The 3 punches found in the second form are to attack the 5 seasons on the left side where the heart is.
From the initial 8th movement, we step forward, single punch on the right side, pull in, then single punch on the left side, and then single punch on the right side again. The reason behind the 2 punches on the right, 1 punch on the left, is an example of Chinese martial arts, how we must have the key to open the door, etc. And here, along on the left side, obviously you know the heart is slightly tilted, central bit tilts to the left. There are pressure points here, as well as what we call the 5 elements, the 5 elements, using the 4 seasons here with the midsummer up here. And this is why this Phoenix Eye Fist is done twice on the right side. Namely the 5 elements, spring, summer, autumn and winter, and midsummer is over here. So this is one reason why there's 2 punches on the right, to give that explanation of doing pressure point striking to his left side of the body. The next technique after those 3 punches is come to here and then seize in front. Now, if he grabs me, okay, I can use this to break his grip. I can also explain here, just above the bone on the inside of the arm, there's a nerve here, the old funny bone here, and with this technique to strike at the same time, simultaneously together, to hit those points and then seize in front. There is a much more complicated explanation of this one, is to actually attack namely the 5 elements surrounding the heart. This is why it's done like this in the form, which I'll explain on the 36 king pressure points of the Dip Da and herbal medicine video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show this close up of this.
This technique is to attack the pressure point above the elbow, inside the elbow, as well as inside the arm.
Okay, so these pressure points here on the wrist, above the elbow or inside of the arm, just between the bicep and the tricep where the muscle joins up. There's a pulse here, and it's a pressure point here, and above, as I said, above the elbow. And hit these pressure points simultaneously here. You can also use the knuckles here, using the leopard's palm or leopard's fist, to actually knock the nerve. It's very good for destroying techniques, and that will be explained in the third form video. One thing I've got to mention is when someone grabs you on this side, don't do it with the arm, do it with the waist. See, it's much easier and you can easily break free. From here, from this initial hit, we come to the striking the 5 seasons, or we can come up here and strike up here, or claw both hands, again grabbing the pressure points here and then taking your knee up to the centre, along your centre line, either to the groin or to the denting point 3 inches below the navel. From here we do the circular, palm up, pull in. If someone grabs, you can circle the arm, this is why it's done circular, and then from here grab the arms and pull in. This technique here, the next one, is the 2 pressure points up the top on the head or under the eyebrow. There's pressure points, and you can strike those under the eye or on top of here and give a twist. Try to hit the whole palm over the complete head like this. From here, you pull in. You can either grab the two pressure points inside here. There's a nerve here, a nerve here, and it goes down the arm, and there's three nerves, the radius, medial, and ulnar nerve, and it comes up to link up to the neck. This is the same nerve here, and this technique can actually press. What happens is when I press that, his knees go, okay? And you can also use this grab to press in, or the front well, again, to press in, very dangerous technique, to here and in, pull.
This technique is used on the neck, on the nerve, above the collarbone, as well as the throat well.
The next technique from here, when you pull into your stomach, the head slightly tilts. This is when the headbutt comes in. We grab the person, pull him in, bring him away to here, and then smash on his head, maybe on the nose. Put him right in. I can't demonstrate that, obviously, to use your head. From there, half step, left leg forward, double punch, and then doubles up. Put the other leg forward, say for example. If, say for instance, your foot is here, we can half step needs to stand on the foot. And I'll explain where the pressure point is on this.
The pressure points on the foot, as you can see, on the outside, above the big toe, and on the instep. Also twist.
Okay, we do a half step. From here, if we're very close to someone, we can move forward, double punch, and then doubles up. If say for instance I'm very close, I do the half step. Inside there's a pressure point here that I've marked out in sand zone number 3. We move in using the knee to knock him outwards. You see, this is a good technique to put him down. So half step, maybe you stand on his foot. If it's not there, move in. Then it's coming there. So the next technique is going to be whack on the back. Double punch, 2 pressure points up here. Doubles up. Again, grabbing the wrist pressure points.
So the Dolkyu position, before you actually turn round, is to grab the wrist pressure points.
Using the outside of the strike, either on the nerve on the opposite side, on this side, the left side, or the front well here. Using the fingers that go downwards. Again, when you use the half step, you knock him out, punch him maybe, taking the pressure points here and bring him here. Turn around. So grabbing again, grabbing the wrist points, and then bring it down. And that's that position, Dolkyu. After the punch, Dolkyu, we turn round, bring the elbow in, push out the Yukyu. This is where we've got to understand the gate theory. And the gate theory in this technique is gone to a 45-degree angle, but the angle goes towards the middle gate, known as Jungmun. Jungmun aims here. If we take this technique to the high gate or to the very low gate, it's not going to work as well if we take it to the middle gate, thrusting forward. The body also has gone slightly into the longer stance, going forward. Pay attention as well that when we turn round here, the feet point the direction that we want to go. We then turn, take the weight off this one, and then move forward. From the Dolkyu, left leg across, turn, Yukyu. This technique, Yukyu, can also be done when doing this technique. We can also do it like this, or with the hand like this. And I will explain the reason behind those 2 techniques. Another thing about the gate theory is that when we do the Dolkyu position and we bring round our arms, we don't move these arms. They stay the same distance away from the stomach. Whatever between techniques here, punch, double kill. And I'll explain again what's the reason behind that. Okay. So the idea behind the game theory is to understand the direction in which we're hitting. If, for instance, if I go in this position, it could be a technique here, maybe a technique here. But supposing I'm in contact and I'm ready to get around the back of him, if I move this arm like this, I'm left open for an attack to here. So by using the forms, when we move, this hand is not moving, although it seems like it, this hand is staying central, always checking its position. So that's the reason behind why the double kill remains still when you turn around, to teach you or to train you that when you turn around, you keep the hand still and then I can take it, whatever. Over this side. From here, turn, we then bring the hands in and come to the U-kill position. If he grabs me, I can turn over this hand using the long stance, but now I'm in the shorter stance. We use the long stance to step and simultaneously push out. Now, for instance, if he's holding me very tight, we can also place the left arm or the right arm, whichever, onto his hand and simultaneously push down to the pressure point here, which I marked out in the double kill position, and then go towards the centre. If he tries to punch me, it brings him down. Again, this is why the gaze theory plays an important part. It won't work as well if we're doing this. If we do it higher, it's not going to work. Or if we go to the right side gate or to the left side gate. We have to push in towards that person and it buckles him up. And as he punches, it brings him down. And U-kill goes like this. This is the purpose behind the U-kill technique. That's why it's called shaking off, and it literally shakes off the person from grabbing. Obviously, if he grabs, I don't really have to worry about what I'm going to do with his hand because he's holding it. I can literally punch. But we must understand that although that's a simple technique, just to punch him, we must also understand how to shake someone off and get out of that kind of grip. The next technique after U-kill, from here, is to bring the hand back and together simultaneously here. This hand draws back slightly. Again, pay attention to the gate theory. The elbow does not touch the stomach. This technique is to turn me inwards. Another thing about techniques is that if I bring someone here, this is the strongest part of my body. And this is why a lot of techniques bring your hand back to the centre here. Again, the pressure point at the back that I marked out earlier, we use the double kill to hit and bring them down here. I can follow him all the way down, but in actual fact, what that will be in actual situation will be a clean break or pressure point strike to here. Even just doing this or hitting above the elbow, it releases the energy from his arm. So this is a good technique if you wanted to break his arm. For instance, you hit here first and then he's going to break, then I can break it, you see. So we pay attention to this pressure point on the back, it's tense up. If I try to break it, tense up the arm. If I try to break at the elbow, I'm going to have to use a lot of strength. There is another technique of breaking the elbow. Punch him first, takes his mind off his arm, and then quickly snap. But in this case, what I'm actually doing, again, pressure point at the back, here, that's it. And then I know for a fact that if I come back on this elbow here, I'm going to break that arm. And if again, another technique you should also pay attention to is that if I just hit that, tense up, you can take it to a certain extent, but grabbing the two wrist points as well, here, it hurts him more, because it's the same nerve. So this technique here, then over your head, is yen come, grabbing the pressure points here, and I'm going to do a close-up of them. Okay, so these fingers fit on the pressure point on the inside of the arm. This one, this thumb, sits on the pressure point on the outside of the arm, and there's an energy source that runs up here like this, and that's where we actually grab it. This is yen come here. We can also go on the opposite side of the arm, on the inside. So we're grabbing the wrist pressure points on just below here, the bicep. There's where the muscle sort of joins up here, there's a pressure point there. Getting the fingers inside of the arm. We pull, and at the same time, striking the pressure point just below the armpit where it gets harder. And then punching with the Phoenix arm fist. Or we can take that on the inside, again, take it into the front work. Also, when doing yen come, it comes down just like an eagle snatching his arm. That's why it comes down. Don't have your elbow straight, because if he pushes forward, I'm going to lose my balance. I need to have my energy here. So if he pushes forward, see, the elbow's going to be bent more solid. That's why the elbow's bent, and the angle to grab the bicep is like this. It's not this way, but it's sitting, coming down. Grabbing those pressure points at the same time. From here, we also come back. This technique is to hit the pressure point with the fist. Is to hit the pressure point or the nerves here. And the way to do this is to actually twist on impact. As we strike it, so what I can do is I can come up here and then come up straight away. It also releases his hand. Hold. See, it literally destroys his hand. We actually knock him back the energy as well as the nerve. The old nerve goes like this over his hand. This pressure point here. This pressure point here is the same result, same as this one. It's the same result. It's just a little bit more harder, but the same thing happens. We get it properly with a twist on impact here. Okay, that's why we come back like this. But another reason is that pull him in and strike. Okay. Now, then after this technique, you fansao, step forward and palm, and then dosa. Fansao is an energy technique to do the movements. If he pushes one way with fansao, see how we can use fansao. 1, 2, or if I'm in inside his arm and pressing them together, we can use fansao like this. This is the idea of fansao. From there, half step, as we did on the other side. Then from here we palm, catching the 2 points here on the chest. Give a twist as well. Another thing about hitting the dim yu points and dim ma is that if the more tense you are, the more energy, the less energy you can send in, the more relaxed you are. If you've got that heavy elbow power that we develop in the submental system, when we hit a certain point, say here, we can drain the energy down, drain the energy out, twist it up, or send pain into his stomach by striking downwards on certain points. So here, and then dolls up, and then we turn around. Last 10 movements of the second form is these last 10. Man done, finish, okay. The first technique is punching and step back and donkey. The reason why we do this technique, stepping back, again, if I don't step back, okay, then maybe he can hunch up his shoulder, but stepping back, stretches out his arm, at the same time going to this point here again and down. Okay, that's why simultaneously together. We can do it either left or right. This is why this technique steps back. Next movement, palm, again striking here, or the shoulder points. We can get a shoulder, a pain drainage on the shoulder by hitting the shoulder and knocking out his arm. Coming it back, here, this technique is to hit the wrist pressure points or the inside of the forearm.
So hitting the pressure points on the arm, above the forearm, middle of the forearm, as well as on the wrist.
Okay, these These ones on the wrist here, even this one on the older side, they can easily make the person feel very dizzy. And there's also these pressure points here on the inside. This one also can be attacked from this angle, because hitting this one in this direction, using the wrist, again, or you can use this technique, brings him down. You can also use this one, which will dizzy him a little bit. Obviously, there are more techniques in to come up and strike, which can make the fight much more shorter if you wanted to really hurt the person. But here we are, these points here that are marked out for this technique. It comes down this angle. Again, it's aimed at it goes at the middle gate area. It doesn't come all the way down. Pay attention to the gate theory that if, say, for instance, you move his hands out of the way, move your hands out of the way, okay? I don't want to come down like this. Train yourself to go here. The next technique is pixel. Pixel is aimed here, okay, to the pressure point here or there, either side, or we can go to the throat here, or, as I said, either side of the throat, in line with the Adam's apple. The next movement comes down like this. Again, grabbing the 3 points, which we call the 3 points of the arm, which means these points here, at the elbow, above the elbow, 1, inside of the shoulder, 2, 1, 2, and 3. So these are the 3 points. So we grab here to put him down, or grab here, or we can snatch on the shoulder and bring him down here, like this. The next technique is Diusao, using the wrist. You notice in the second form there's a lot of wrist movement in these last 10 movements. And the wrist movement is very important because, again, we can get this one at the back that I marked out, or hit here, we can actually do this to break his arm. We can easily come up with the armpit strike here with this same technique, both sides. I can bring him down using, say, this one here, on this side, to turn his hands, grab the 2 wrist points, yeah? Hit this pressure point, okay? Bring down, and then my next technique, obviously I cannot demonstrate, yeah. My next technique, I cannot demonstrate, but as I bring him down, this movement here will then fit perfectly. We have a technique that goes like this, and it looks like it's a groin strike, but in fact, what it is, as I twist here, and then I come forward, and then I will strike with this pressure, this part of the hand. That's why Diusao. Coming back, pixel, we can use to hit here or on the wrist, striking, and follow up with the next technique, we strike here or just here below the bone. A pressure point here, a painful one, here. And it just drops the person that pressure point there, striking here or on the shoulder, or getting the shoulder, then taking the shoulder out, striking here or up. This one follows up. It hits the arm. These look like blocks. In actual fact, they're actually hitting the pressure points here and then coming in for the initial strike on the body. After this, there's Mandan. Mandan is a snatching technique. If my hand's in contact, I can snatch, or if he punches me, I can snatch it at the same time, simultaneously take him out here or here. Again, going back to that pressure point that I earlier mentioned. Or you can just use it to snatch here or on inside of the arm. Or you can use it at the shoulder. See, there are numerous applications for each technique. So this concludes the second form of SARM JIN YUI KUI, which means 3-step shape up the bridge using those techniques found in the form. Okay, so now you understand the second form, SARM JIN YUI KUI. Obviously, there's many ways that you can apply certain techniques I'll give you an example of the range of different applications you can find and what can happen when doing certain techniques. For instance, if he grabs me, if you do the second form, the you and you just do it like this, now he's going to leave his arm here. Now going back to the principle, if he uses grab here, I can twist his arm using the flat palm to twist. Okay, so grab 1, 2. I then can proceed to do yankum and grab the pressure point here, okay, leaving his kidney open. And when you grab this pressure point on top, this just a tap on the kidney, it becomes more potent, I suppose you can explain. So watch carefully here. So another, I can take up the arm into the axillary nerves there, and then can break, as I said. I can put my hand over. If I grab these 2 points here, it makes his hand weaker, but then by the time this happens, you've got the kidney to strike. You can use a cauldron, use the flat of the palm, and use a kind of like technique like this. Again, 1, you feel. Again, if he's too tight, then you use this one. Okay? If he's very loose, okay, then this one. Basically speaking, you can from there, you can break. Now if he does a technique like this, like that, this nerve here, remember, you can, okay, or strike. Get on this nerve. Okay, that will just send his pain in his arm. So again, see that? So 1, break, or maybe this one, 2, yeah, here. 3, or maybe 3. It's numerous, I can go on for a long time doing these sort of things. The other technique is using these pressure points on the inside of his arm. We're using, say, techniques, this one, 1. So if he punches, we hit with pixel, this pressure point, 1, 2, and then this pressure point's on the inside. And I say, if you get this correctly, if you get this effectively, you can pass out from this technique. 1, 2, 3, and then we can come up. So the list of techniques is endless. We can change these movements, hitting here, under here, hitting these ones, and then coming in for the final movement. So these techniques here can easily make him pass out, or make him dizzy. And once you've got the dizzy, then obviously it becomes more easier when you hit him at another point as well.
There are many pressure points on the arm that can cause your opponent to pass out. Please do not attempt these pressure points. Knowing revival is also an utmost importance.
Put his arm around here. You alright? Okay? Alright. Stay there. Okay. Yeah.
So thank you very much for watching this Chou Gar praying mantis training video.